Here was Charlie Gaines, king of the pro football fantasy leagues even at the age of 12, not just watching the second preseason game for the Bengals and Giants, as much as studying it. His mom had come in a few minutes ago and said, "I can't tell. Are you watching the game or searching for clues?" "Both." As soon as she'd come in, he'd paused the screen, freezing on the Giants' rookie quarterback out of Ohio State, Rex Tuttle, as he dropped back into shotgun formation. "I'm not distracting you, am I?" she'd said. Charlie had turned, saw her smiling at him, both of them knowing what his answer was going to be. "Yes," he'd said. "Talk to you after the Super Bowl in February," she'd said, and left. Charlie had the remote on one side of him on the bed, laptop on the other. He pointed the remote. The game came back to life. The announcers' voices came back into his room. All the company he needed when there was a game on. Charlie happy being alone with football. Good at it. He really preferred watching the games alone, unless he was watching with his friend Anna, the only person he knew who loved football as much as he did. But then, Anna's family owned a team. It was different with Charlie Gaines. He felt as if the whole league belonged to him. The players and their stats and where they were in their careers and how much Charlie projected they had left in them. Sometimes his mom said that when he dropped his backpack on the table in the front hall, she expected decimal points to come spilling out. "How many leagues are you in this season?" she'd said at dinner that night, meaning fantasy leagues. "Just counting mine," he'd said, "or all the ones I help my friends with." She'd given him a long look. "You still have time for real life, right?" Real life to his mom meant three things: friends and school and his own football team in Pop Warner. "Mom," he said, "I know you think sometimes that I've turned into some kind of football geek, that it's all I think about or talk about, but last year I had my best year ever at school, and you know I've got all the friends I could want from school." "I'm allowed to worry about my guy," Carla Gaines said to her son. "It's what moms do. If we didn't have worrying, we'd have to do more yoga." "I'm fine," he'd said. "And by the way, how can you worry about me and fantasy leagues when you're the one working in what you call the world of make-believe?" They lived in Culver City, California, where Sony Studios was located. His mom worked there as an executive assistant for one of the top production guys, still believing she was going to be a movie producer herself someday, constantly on the lookout for what she called the right script. He'd asked her once, one night last weekend when she was reading a script while Charlie watched one of the first preseason games, if she'd rather have the right script or the right man, having divorced Charlie's dad a long time ago. "Script, if it's the right one, it doesn't leave." At dinner tonight, she'd said, "I just want your life to be great, pal." "It is," Charlie Gaines had told her, grinning. "How can it not be great? It's football season." Most football fans thought the preseason was a waste of time. You hardly got to see the best players, and coaches were afraid of getting their stars hurt before they ever got anywhere near September. Charlie didn't care. He loved it all. It was football season again, from August all the way through the Super Bowl in February. It was when he was happiest, when his life did feel great. He didn't have to watch tonight's game alone. He could have invited Anna over, but he was going to her house tomorrow night to watch her team, and his, the LA Bulldogs, play the Bears in Chicago. And he could have invited one of his boys, Kevin Fallon, to come over. Kevin only lived 2 blocks away. The only problem with that was Kevin wanting to do his own play-by-play of the game. He hardly ever shut up. It was better with Anna. She focused on games, especially Bulldogs games, the way he did. Maybe it was why she knew more about the sport than any guy Charlie knew. Certainly any guy their age. Any guy except for Charlie. Charlie Gaines knew real games the way his friends knew video games. and wished that Anna's uncle, the general manager of the Bulldogs, knew the league that well. Or at least better than he did. The Bulldogs were an expansion team, still playing like one 4 years after they'd brought pro football back to Los Angeles. They were so bad, still not managing to have won more than 4 games in a season, that the sports writers and the bloggers and the radio host and the fans on Twitter like to say that pro football still hadn't come back to L.A.